You're listening to Radio Cosmos.
All night long.
Bravo!
My compliments, little lady.
Commercial!
Break for 30 seconds.
You are now listening to BaaD Radio.
Hello and welcome to BaaD Radio. BaaD stands for Business at a Distance. This is a show about local businesses and business networking. We are here in the News Radio WFLA Orlando studios from 11 a.m. to noon every Sunday, and I am your host, Angela Smarito. And hosting alongside with me, please welcome Chelsea Welsh with Florida Energy, Water, and Air. Give her a little, so give us a little update on what's going on with business lately.
We're at the Orlando Home Show. It's been really, really good.
Where's your microphone? Your microphone.
So sorry. Oh my goodness. It's been really good. We have the Orlando Home Show coming up. We have the Solar Bears that we are a proud sponsor of. That's been awesome to see. And a lot of people are understanding the importance of having their water tested. Mm-hmm. And so at Florida Energy, Water, and Air, it's really about making sure that the education component is there and really making sure that we get that water tested and know what's really in there.
Right. I love the way that you always team up with the local sport.
Yes.
Because you're a sporty, right?
Oh my gosh. Sports are everything.
I think that's awesome. But like you said, it does connect you to a lot of local people. And so I've always thought that was a very brilliant marketing move on your behalf, because that's what you did with Renewal by Anderson.
Absolutely.
And now that you're doing it with Florida Energy, Water, and Air. And I love when you say we got to make water sexy.
Yeah,
you're like,
it is, because you don't think about it, but it is everything you do day to day. It's the first thing you do in the morning. It's the last thing you do at night. And really, it makes a big difference when you have clean water.
Mm-hmm. And I tell you what, those guys that we met with last week, I think they saw a whole new perspective of water coming from the eyes of the female of the house, and their hair and their skin and their nails and all that other stuff.
Yeah,
so
it makes a huge difference.
Yeah. So Chelsea's gonna make water sexy.
Water sexy.
Well, I mean, I actually have a water filtration system from her company. Didn't know that's where we were from until just now. But I love it. I've had it for years.
It's a game changer, right?
Such a big difference.
Well, that's awesome. Well, that leads me into our guest. Back in the studio with us, please welcome John Kennedy with Forge IT Consultant. He is an IT specialist, and he's also like my computer guru. So welcome back.
Thank you.
And again, thank you for being our sponsor for another year of BaaD Radio. So that means the world to us. That's the only reason that we're here. But yeah, that's like a great coincidence. Didn't know either. But yeah, Chelsea was the CMO of Renewal by Anderson when we met, just randomly on the elevator, and we struck up a conversation. And she had a show, and she invited me on that show. And then when this year came around, I asked her about coming and being a part of the show because my son Aiden, which is going to be playing college baseball. And
That's awesome.
And so I want to be able to have the flexibility to travel, and I know that Chelsea's strong enough to hold up the show in my absence.
Excellent.
And so she accepted, and I'm very blessed. And so we've been doing, this is our third show together.
It's been great.
And so we had the pleasure of interviewing your beautiful fiance last week, Elise Sally, and it was great. So, all right, but we're here with you now. So let's talk about what's been going on. Let's just bring it up, cybersecurity. I meant that's with AI and all the things. That's like all the talk right now.
Yeah, I mean, LLMs, large language models, AI, whatever you want to call them, have made phishing so much more dangerous. Back before those were available, phishing emails were usually fairly easy to spot. They had bad grammar, they had weird punctuation, weird capitalization.
Or spacing issues.
Issues. They looked terrible. These days, they can just throw it into an LLM, make it look like, I don't know, I want it to look like Amazon's emails. I want to make it look like Walmart's emails. They've got it. Right. No problems. It all looks perfect. And as a result, just seeing it, the email itself, is no longer enough. You need to be paying attention to other things like, okay, what email address did it actually come from? And like on a cell phone, you have no idea. It just says the display name. It doesn't tell you the email address. So
does it if you click on it though?
It does. You have to click on it, and it's different for each app and different for other phones, how easy it is to find out. But at the same time, who has time for that? Nobody's doing that because no one needs to be that concerned about it. And as a result, it's more important than ever to have something in place that is screening your emails before they get to your mailbox so that we're weeding out the majority of those kinds of emails before you even see them.
Well, is there a different screening for when you have when you check them on your computer versus you check them on your phone, or do those safety measures apply for both?
They apply for both.
Okay.
The best types of email filters are working at the mailbox level, so they're happening regardless of what device you're using.
Mm-hmm. And have new securities come out to counter this improvement in the bad guys?
Yeah.
Well, the funny thing is that the amount of time that any one of these advanced email filters was spending on the actual content of the email was relatively low. It's more about the other features of the email. What's the email address? Are there any links in it? Are there any attachments in it? Has the attachment been scanned? Does the domain that it's being sent from have proper security on it? How new is that domain? Did somebody just register it this past week? I mean, stuff like that is all equally, if not more important, to be able to filter these kinds of things out.
And I think a lot of us think, oh, well, yes, we're scared when it's on our laptop. But I think naturally we are like, our phones are safe. There's nothing that's going to get in there, right? And I think that's a misconception. Exactly. So I think those are all things that so many people are curious about because it is getting so scary out there.
Yeah, iPhone very recently had a major security vulnerability that was patched, and hopefully both of you have already updated your phones.
I don't have an iPhone.
I have an iPhone, but I let it auto whatever. It
check. You should
I'll
definitely
double check.
check.
Yeah.
But yes, there's a major vulnerability that was actively being used in the wild. It means that there were actual phones that had been infected.
Oh, no.
And so essentially every iPhone out there needed this update because it was that big of a problem.
Wow.
But people don't know about it unless they're reading about it. I could see it because I get, a news feed every day.
Sure.
It's got all kinds of tech stuff in it. And so I send that out as well and tell all of my people. But if you're not paying attention, you could just be running around with an insecure phone. You don't know it because you expect it to be secure. But it can only be secure if you're keeping up with it and if the company that is doing the software is keeping up with it.
So are they sending something that says, like, alerting people?
On an iPhone,
I know it's different carrier.
Apple has gotten kind of like putting into the background. They don't really put it in your face. As a result, you kind of need to go into the settings and see if there's an alert that says, "Hey, you've got an update to run."
Girl, you need to be
Makes
getting
sense.
on that.
I'm going to look at it because, and oftentimes, right, it comes in the nighttime and you're not paying attention and then it just goes away.
Exactly.
Because I've seen that before too.
Right. It's not like your computer where the updates are these days get automatically installed. The computer automatically tells you, "Hey, you need to reboot," because to
It
finish
forces
the
you,
install,
right?
and it forces you to do
Yeah.
it. That has not really been the case as much with phones. I know my phone is a Google Pixel phone, and anytime an update comes in, I get an alert that there's an update. Do you want to do it? And over the next 3 days or so, they'll install it whether you like it or not.
Gotcha.
Makes sense.
But an Apple phone doesn't seem to do that anymore, if it ever did.
What about droids?
It depends. It depends on the flavor of Android. So mine's a Pixel phone. It runs Android from Google. But a Samsung phone may or may not be the same. And
I have a Samsung.
and various different other Android companies all do it differently because Android isn't an operating system that is controlled by one company.
Oh.
It seems like it's controlled by Google, but it's not really. Instead, they're doing the back end work to make certain features and certain things work, but it's more of an open source type of software where each individual company that sells a phone that runs on Android has their own flavor of Android, has lots of different things that they are able to customize, and so it can run whatever way they want it to. So Samsung Android and Google's Android on their Pixel and Android on a Sony phone, all different.
Very interesting. Well, we're going to pick up right there when we get back. So everybody stay tuned. We have more BaaD Radio coming up. And welcome back to BaaD Radio. This portion of the show is brought to you by Body Street of Winter Park. Experience the future of fitness at Body Street in Winter Park. Lose weight, build muscle, tone your body in only 20 minutes a week. Visit bodystreet.us to sign up for your free trial.
We want to pump you up.
That's right. That's actually Stefan. He'll be here next week on the show, I know. And we're back. We're having a great conversation with Chelsea Welsh with Florida Energy, Water, and Air, and our featured guest, John Kennedy with Forge IT Consulting. And the conversation we're having is about cybersecurity, where it's incredibly interesting. It's also incredibly scary. And
Yes.
But it's stuff that we have to know, right? Because everybody has a phone. Everybody has not everybody has a computer, but so much of our personal information is included in that.
Absolutely.
And from our money to our business dealings to everything. And so as your business goes, is that one of the main things that you do for your clients?
Absolutely. I mean, as soon as you're talking business security, you're going into a whole additional realm of security that you can add that you can't on personal stuff. So like your basic Gmail account, I can't add advanced email security to it. There's no possibility to
what
it.
now? I'm sorry.
To a Gmail account.
Oh, right. Okay.
A free Gmail account. Proton Mail, Yahoo, Outlook.com. All of those will have the basic ones that are built into it, and they'll all be a little bit different, but you can't add anything to it. Once you get to business, you can add things. And, the average business doesn't realize, or at least the average new small business doesn't realize that there's a plethora of different things that you can add to keep you more safe. And it's the number one thing that I bring to the table anytime I'm talking to a potential new client. They're going to have whatever IT issues that they have, whatever thing that they're concerned about, and I'm going to address that first. But then I'm going to say, okay, where's your data? How are we keeping it safe? Because that is something that just doesn't get thought about as much when you don't know IT. If you don't know tech and IT, then you don't know what to ask for.
And I think that's a lot of us, right? We assume that there's someone else taking care of it, right? Or we hope that to be the case, but I think that, the average person probably doesn't even know where to start or where the process comes from. And I think that, in someone in your position, there's so much education that goes into that. So kind of talk us through that. I think the education component, just what you said on the last, when we were our conversation on the last break, I checked my phone. I wanted to make sure the little things that we don't know, education's so powerful.
Yeah. And it all comes down to, for IT people, it's really just paying attention to various different IT related outlets and news for what's happening in the IT space. And it's also paying attention to all the various different vendors out there. Vendors are actually a very large component of where an IT person learns about security and learns about what's happening in the world.
What do you mean vendors?
We're talking about the people that sell antivirus, that sell, email security. They're the ones that are in the trenches every day trying to deal with the various different attacks. I'm not doing it every day. I have all of my clients being protected by these things that are doing it every day.
But
they're seeing it every day.
You shop them and you.
But I shop them, of course. I shop them. I see who's doing well, who's being rated well, and then I'm listening to them. Not only the ones that I buy and I prefer, but also the other ones that put out various different amounts of news articles and updates and what they're doing, so I can be on top of what's going on in the world. What do I need to be paying attention to? What things really don't matter anymore, and which things really, really matter? And I do this also with networking with other IT professionals. It can be as simple as just going to the subreddit for IT admins or for MSPs or something like that. And somebody asks a question and says, well, what's going on with XYZ thing? And if I know something, I'll try to add my 2 cents and read what everyone else has said as well. So I can be on top of, what's going on in my space? This is the same as any other company. You're doing it, I'm sure, for marketing. Yep. I'm sure you're doing it in water. You have to, because that's what you do. That's what you sell. You need to know what's going on. And as a result, I have specialized expertise, and you have specialized expertise, and you have expertise. And so we can provide those expertises to our clients in ways that our clients can't possibly already have.
That's excellent. Do you do any sort of, with your clients, do you have any sort of courses or anything that you do for, because I mean, I know a lot of the times the phishing gets through a person. It's usually, 9 times out of 10, a person that
Right.
allows.
It's easier to scam a person than it is to hack a computer.
Right.
And as a result, one of the components of security these days is security awareness training.
Okay.
And it's something I provide to a lot of my clients. I say, okay, you're going to get something at least once a month that's just going to talk to you about something in the IT security space. It could be something as simple as lock your computer before you get up from your computer. But it can be as complicated as, this is how you spot a phishing email. Here's what you should be looking for.
Gotcha.
It can be run the gamut. And because it's such a boring topic to the average person, you have to make it fun and you have to make it short.
Gamification, right?
Absolutely. So there's always at least some kind of question at the end. The ones that I use, typically it's just one question. Did you get the main point? And the video is only like a minute and a half long.
Right.
But it means that you've learned something, or at least been exposed to something that you may not have otherwise been exposed to.
Makes sense.
See, I think people that work, especially in like a business your size, Chelsea, the people that work in finance or pay invoices,
Scariest one, right?
need to be
Absolutely.
especially trained, because I've heard of ones where it's a fake invoice that looks like a legit invoice
or
coming
an email
from
that says, "Hey, I'm such and such, and you know such and such. Can you run out and go grab me some gift cards?"
That's one that's been around for a long
It's so
time.
fast. And if the person's brand new and they don't know,
Gift cards are a giant
it's
red
giant.
flag.
It's giant.
But if you don't know that, you don't know that.
you don't know what you don't know. It's interesting, right?
Absolutely.
I've gotten that one before with my previous employer, and at first I was like, "Sure, John," and then I was like, "Wait a second." I'm like, "Why on earth?"
It
would
makes you rethink it
Yeah.
for sure.
Because he said something about getting Publix gift cards for like a get together, which would be something that we would have done. But I was like, no, he wouldn't ask me.
But that's how smart they're getting. They're really looking at that activity that you normally, so it normalizes it.
Yeah.
And so naturally you're like, you stop and you think about it, but it's normalizing it, which is crazy.
Something that's been like a thing for a long time in title companies is, giving fake wire transfer information.
That's
so instead of, paying who you're supposed to be paying, you pay the wrong person and it's gone.
Yeah, it's done.
That is super scary, and title companies have really gotten on top of it, and they've been very good about educating their clients, buyers and sellers, making sure this is the way you do things. We only do it this way. If you do it any other way, you're doing it wrong.
Yeah.
Other companies are starting to get hit with those kinds of things. I have a client who had an email sent to the vast majority of their clients saying, "We have updated the way that we're going to be paid. We're using this third party for all payments. This is how you're supposed to do it. Please click on this link to set up your account."
Oh, no.
And it came from an email address that was exactly the same as the email address as the person, with one change. Instead of .com, it was .us. They even got the signature block that person uses on all of their emails.
Wow.
It looked perfect. But that domain had only been registered a few weeks ago, and there's nothing you can do about it. Not really.
So a lot of it got blocked before it even came into their email.
It would have
box.
been if there's somebody like me protecting their emails, but a whole bunch of their clients don't, and a whole bunch of their clients got it, and at least one of them showed it to them. And after that, I said, okay, I've investigated this. There is nothing you can do to stop this. You have to educate your clients that this is something that's a scam, and you have to educate your clients on this is the way that we will update you for anything like this in the future, and it cannot be just an email. You're going to have to do that, because all I could do on my end is, this is a domain that somebody else owns. Yeah. I can report to the registrar that, hey, this domain is being used for phishing scams, but it's, some company in Eastern Europe that's pretty buddy-buddy with a lot of companies that do this kind of thing. They're not going to do much.
Right.
So as a result, that's what they have to do. Sometimes it's not about the technical safeguards. Sometimes it's really about the process safeguards.
Wow. Well, that's interesting. But again, like I said, time flies. So we're going to go to break. When we get back, we'll have more BaaD Radio. So stay tuned.
To you by Ground Up Property Services. Do you know what your sprinkler system did last night? Probably not. So now is a good time to get your irrigation system serviced by Ground Up Property Services today. Be sure to ask for Rick Hall with Ground Up about water sensor so that your lawn doesn't get too much water. Call 407-468-4295 or visit groundupinc.net. We're back with our great guest, John Kennedy with Forge IT Consulting.
And that was awesome. So a little backstory, I'm going to be traveling soon. And so Chelsea is going to be sitting in the main host seat. So you get used to that voice. That was amazing. I know
Thank
that
you.
I want you to meet Rick Hall at some point with Ground Up.
I would love that. I'm sure he's amazing.
He is the kindest soul I've ever met in my entire life. And he is the one that I was sitting with at a Starbucks, 5 years ago. And he was the one who said to me, this business at a distance group is cool. He's like, you should make it into a radio show.
Oh, wow.
So I always give him credit for that. I was like, really? I was like, I'd have to get sponsors. And he was like, I'll sponsor you. And I was
That's
like,
awesome.
you would? And I was like, he's like, yeah. And I'm like, all right. And so I called a couple other people. And by the end of the day, I had enough people on board to sponsor, and I pitched the idea. And we just had the first show aired 4 years ago last week.
Wow.
And so we're entering our 5th year right now, which is really cool.
That's awesome.
But yes, so John's been a part of it. I didn't know you until, I don't know, was the show already here, or did you ever do it on the other radio station?
I didn't participate as somebody that was a guest until later, but I think I sponsored early at a tier that didn't have a speaking part.
Gotcha. Okay.
Because we knew each other from BNI before that.
Right. I'm just trying to remember if you ever came into the other smaller studio that we were at. I
visited, but not for that reason.
Gotcha. All right. Well, very cool. But you've been in here several times, and I love the fact that you know how it goes. And his content reels are the best because he says things very pointedly. Yeah. And then I can pull the information out and make incredible content reels from it. And I saw that you have them on your website.
Yeah.
I saw that. It looks really good.
I was like, yay, use them the way that he should.
Yeah, I can't wait to use the one that's going to be about process safeguards instead of technical safeguards.
Process, okay.
What I just talked about.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, you're like, okay, and give me that content soon.
That's right.
So, is there anything else that you wanted to add about that part? Because I was going to talk about, what is it? Not the phishing. What was the one where you had ransomware? Mm-hmm. So is that anything new with that?
No, not really. I mean, ransomware it's the same thing all the time. It's just software that can get around whatever antivirus software you've got on your computer, encrypt all your files, and say, okay, you can't have this unless you pay us. And not only that, oh, by the way, we also have it and uploaded all of your data to our systems. And if you don't pay our ransom and just reload from backups, we're going to expose it to the internet. Mm-hmm. So ransomware, it hasn't gotten that much more sophisticated. It's really the attack vectors, how it gets onto your computer that have changed.
Makes sense.
Chelsea, are you familiar with ransomware?
Oh no, that makes me so scared. I had a couple of on the media vendor side that it happened to a couple years ago, and it was a major factor. I mean, these are major companies, and it happened to them, and it shut them down.
Yeah.
So it's definitely a factor that I think most companies are not aware like they should be.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. I mean, it depends on, how it happens and what data they can get to on how dangerous it is to a particular company. But if you're the right kind of company that has very important data, that if it's gone and you don't have a backup, you're just out of business.
Yeah.
And that's it.
So
You're done.
scary.
And paying the ransom, most of the time, the way that these things work, paying the ransom, you'll most likely get everything back. Because if you didn't, why would anyone pay the ransom in the first place?
Sure.
Because if they don't have a reputation for giving you your stuff back, then no one's going to pay. They don't make any money.
Yeah.
So for the most part, you should get your stuff back. But the only people that are going to help you pay for those things is cyber insurance. And the number of companies that say, oh, I don't think I need cyber insurance, or, oh, I'm not worried about that, or I'll just pay the ransom, or something along those lines.
I can't imagine
hear.
anybody saying, oh, I'll just pay
I
the
didn't
ransom.
even know there was
It's
cyber insurance. That's a whole nother thing.
Yeah, and it's the only thing that'll pay for it. Your general liability, all the various different business insurances that people have had for years will not pay for that.
Wow.
Only cyber insurance does. And from my understanding, it's not terribly expensive for your average company. It's very expensive for me because I work with so many other companies. If I got hit, it would be huge.
Right.
Sure.
But, your average small business, it's not going to be that expensive.
So the pricing is based off of the level of danger you could be, like if your
Right.
stuff
It's how expensive is it likely to be to clean up or get you back rolling.
Wow.
If you're a smaller
so
company and you don't have a ton of data and there isn't likely to be a huge ransom for your data, well, then your insurance is going to be fairly low.
Gotcha.
If you're a bigger company that has a ton of data, or, in the event that you went down, it would cost you a ton of money to be down and get back up. Well, then your cyber insurance is going to be higher because it's going to cost them more to get you back up and running again.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's just how it is. So it's about how bad a particular ransomware attack or something of that nature could be.
Mm.
I know we talked a little bit about phishing, which I think, is so relevant, and then ransomware, but are there two other threats, that you have seen that are creeping up that could impact Central Florida businesses?
Other than ransomware and phishing. Phishing is just so big because
Yeah.
it encompasses so many different things.
Right.
There's one other thing that's related to phishing. It's called smishing. Anything via text message, SMS, smish is how it works. Is certainly something that happens a lot. And it's, again, because you're on your phone, you're not really as security conscious on your phone. It can be a popular way to do things.
There was a couple that went through. There was one, I want to say, from the IRS. Oh, there was one about unpaid tolls.
Yes. That was a big one. I saw that.
And they kept going to my son, and he was having an absolute heart attack. I'm like, we're good on tolls.
Just
I'm like,
ignore it.
just
Yeah.
don't click on anything. He's like, but Mom, they say. I'm like, ignore it. Just
Ignore
ignore
it.
it.
I mean, it's the same as all of your banks. Your banks all tell you, we will never send you XYZ things via text message. We'll never ask you for such things via text message. Never, ever respond to these things. And essentially, that's true for anything that is any way secure in at all.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to get a text message for these things. It's just not a secure method of reaching somebody in the first place. And all companies know it these days. So in basically anything that comes in that sounds scary through text message, you're probably safe ignoring it.
Yeah, I know. We got hacked through. We got a call from our bank, and it was from the actual bank number.
Mm-hmm.
But we got through that, and Chase took care of it. And they did really well. But then we were getting ready to go to Scotland for our anniversary trip, and we got a text about, hey, this is Chase. We see that somebody's just tried to Zelle from your account. Are you, and asking questions. And I was like, immediately, I just shut Zelle off just because I'm like, I'm not even going to mess with it. And then I just strung them along for the entire time we were at the airport waiting. I'm like, oh my God, really? I'm like, let's call. And then they call, and then I don't answer. And like I said, I dragged them along for about 3 hours until they finally gave.
and not
It was a
all
little
banks
fun.
are as good about it as every other bank. I have a credit card through a particular company that has been stolen from me 4 times now, and I've
Wow.
had fraud on it that many times. I'm done with this company. I'm not going to name and shame, but I'm done with this company.
Is it like when you're getting gas? And
I'm not sure. I really don't know, because it's usually like a day or two later that a whole bunch of them pop up, and I'm like, I don't know where this came from. I don't know why. But the point is that every single time they'll text me saying, we found possible fraud, hit yes or no. And okay, yes, this thing is fine, or no, this isn't fine. Okay, you should call back at this number. And I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. I got to go to your website and go find the correct number and call that way. Why are you doing this insecurely? I don't like it.
You're going to have to tell me that company offline. But anyway, all right, we're going to go to break. We'll be right back with more BaaD Radio, so stay tuned.
To find out more. Welcome back. This portion of BaaD Radio is brought to you by Frogger's Grill and Bar. Looking for a great place to go with friends or meet some new friends? Then you're looking to go to Frogger's Grill and Bar, and it has 4 great locations. There's bound to be there's bound to be one near you. Oviedo, Mount Dora, Apopka, Altamont Springs. Be sure to check out Frogger's amazing menu where everything is fresh, never frozen. Frogger's Grill and Bar. Hop in with food and fun.
Yeah, boy.
You got to get used
Love
to that.
that.
Yeah, boy. So we're back with Chelsea Welsh with Florida Water and Florida Energy, Water and Air, and our featured guest, John Kennedy with Forge IT Consulting. And you'll get more and more used to it as with the reads go.
Yeah.
But I mean, Frogger's has been also a sponsor of the show for a long time as well. And they have a big Super Bowl promotion going up. I said the big word, sorry, the big game.
The big game.
So they're going to be giving away free wings for a year, if you can believe that.
Wow.
I know. It's a limit of 10, so 10 per week. 75-inch smart TV. We've got gift cards for mobile detailing and all sorts of stuff. So just if you don't really know what you want to do for the big game and you feel like being out and about, Frogger's is the place to go. Like I said, there's 4 locations, so it's always a good time, and it's really great people watching too. So during the break, John, you mentioned that you had one more. What did you call it?
It's called malvertising.
Malvertising. Okay, please tell us.
So malvertising is when somebody that's trying to scam people buys advertising on websites and then puts their ad on the website, and it does something to take you someplace that is scammy. It could be one of those websites that gives you tons of notifications saying, oh, you're infected. Oh, you got this. Or it could just take you to just one website that says, you're infected. Please call Microsoft at this number. Or, it's any number of different places that it could take you. It could even just it could take you to the regular site. But on the way to the regular site, it tries to download some, malware on your computer and start infecting you.
Wow.
It's something that's out there all the time. I see a lot of the results for the notification version all the time where people are like, oh, my computer's infected. And I log in and I'm like, it's just a scam. Don't worry. You're not infected. It's okay. We just need to turn this off. And here, by the way, let's add a security extension to your browser so that we can help block these in the future. It's really common. Most of it isn't terribly dangerous, provided your computer is up to date and your browser is up to date. But it is something out there, and it can be really scary. And turning it off isn't exactly intuitive. So it's one of the major things that I get from my clients on a regular basis.
Wow.
And if you don't have somebody to call, it can be easy to, get caught by one of these scams, especially the ones that tell you, hey, you need to call right now to get fixed. Because most of the time with those, you're calling a scammer place
that wants access to
They're
your
trying to get
computer.
computer. Yeah, exactly. Trying to get access to your computer. Going to try to, make you do something you should not do. And unfortunately, especially older Americans get hit with this all the time. And it's unfortunately there's very little that they can do because they don't know any better.
Yeah. I mean, people that stock on older folks, there's a special place in hell for them because, like I said, they don't know. They're like the boomers. My dad's turning 80 in April, but he's real switched on. I mean, he's a retired electrical engineer. So but my mom, forget about it.
They made a whole movie about this little grandma, and the grandma gave her like $5,000 because it said that the grandson was kidnapped or something.
What was the movie?
It's very cute. I watched it. I'll look it up and I'll tell you. It was very cute, but it was all around the premise of these older individuals that just get robbed because they don't know and they want to be nurturing and caring, and oftentimes they give up their dollars, and it's very, very sad.
Well, that's why I said there's a special place in hell for them because of the vulnerability of these people.
I'm trying to remember another movie that did that as well with Jason Statham, and it's a big action movie by the end, but at the very beginning, it's something having to do with honeybees or something. But anyway, he's a beekeeper. I think it's Beekeeper actually is the name of
Actually, I've seen that. I want to say it's Netflix.
It could be.
Yeah.
But anyway, his employer gets hit. She's a little old lady. She's, manages some sort of, I don't know, charity or something. And they've got like $2 million in their account. She lets somebody into her computer and they wipe out her account.
Wow.
And he goes after them. And it's just this, scammer call center, essentially. That's what they do.
Yes.
And that's why these things exist, is they can make tons of money. I feel like that movie was the most accurate representation of what these things are that I've ever seen. I
Really?
mean, it's still a little bit too glitzy and glamorous at the scammer location. Usually these people don't get paid that much.
Right.
The people that own the scammer call center make a ton of money. The individual people there don't. And they're usually, outside the jurisdiction of somebody that, can go in and get things done. But still, it's accurate in the idea of this is what they're doing. This is it's like a sales floor. They are there to do this to people.
And they're trained and they know exactly what to say.
Exactly.
And that's how that movie
And it's
portrayed
that
it.
That it kills me. Somebody around the world gets up, puts their lunch together, and goes to work, and their job is to try to scam. And they sit at a desk, like a cubicle, just like what you have out here.
Yeah.
And
It's just a normal call center.
it's crazy to me.
So scary and so sad. So sad for so many people.
But I mean,
Absolutely.
that's their life. I did get hit though, because there was ads that were being put on Facebook, and it was for overstock candles and things like that. And I'm a sucker for candles, and so I did look up the company, and in AI it said it was legit and everything like that. So I ordered a bunch of candles, and they never came, and I lost $84. But to this day, I'll still email them and be like,
Checking with
I
AI, not a great idea.
It didn't really. I thought I was covering my butt, but apparently not, because
they're going to poison AI models by preemptively by saying that they're legitimate, and they're going to have lots of reviews that they're going to do fake reviews ahead of time.
See,
so
that is crazy too,
you
because
can poison an AI with all kinds of different information.
And if you think about it, like you could search anything and the first thing that comes up is AI overviews or some kind of perspective, and everyone's taking it, I do the same, as if it is real data coming from real
sources.
And it's not.
It's
just
not.
There's so many
you guys
people
are
that
blowing
love
my whole image.
AI
away.
and love using ChatGPT for all kinds of different things. But for me, I'm just like, I stay away from it for the most part. Sure, it can be a good tool, but for the most part, I'm like, I don't trust it at all. The amount of nonsense that they can come up with, hallucinations, poisoned data sets. I mean, there's so much stuff out there that it's just like, I don't trust anything that comes from an AI.
Wow, that just blew my mind, because I thought I was doing the right thing, checking it out. I thought I did. So.
And most of the time, to your defense, when we check it, we go to Google or we go to whatever platform and we think, right, in all the years that we've been in the world, that it's going to come up with all of the non-AI. But now it's the first thing at the top.
I know.
And even beyond that, a lot of the websites that you're going to see for like reviews and stuff like that these days, it's all just AI slop anyway. Once you get there, it's somebody, an AI wrote all the stuff that's in the article. And the article actually doesn't mean anything at all. Finding a legitimate site that does real testing of anything these days is incredibly difficult.
Wow.
Because there's going to be 20 AI slop sites that cite back to the one site that actually did anything, and that one site that actually did anything can't make any money.
Wow. I like how you call them slop sites.
They are.
It's true.
That's what it is.
So we actually have about 2 minutes left. So John, talk to us about what you'd like to, I mean, you and I are in business networking groups together and stuff like that. So what are you looking for growth in this year? Like who are you targeting?
I am looking to be connected with people in the trades, title companies and lawyers.
Okay.
I have found that title companies can oftentimes really understand that they need the security that I can provide and need a trusted partner that they can work with.
Okay,
and
that's
they've
really good to know.
made some good good clients. Lawyers are also good, though honestly, I want to be connected with their staff, not with the lawyer. Lawyer doesn't care. Lawyer just wants to make sure it works. The staff are the people that understand this is the things that we need and we're not getting what we need.
Okay.
So I want to be in touch with them. And then for trades, I've found that they're just an underserved population. They have an attitude of we can just get this done and get it muddled through on our own. And for the most part, I'm sure it has served them very well. It's the same way that I feel about things. I have built my company in such a way that I used hardly anybody for years. I just did it all myself. But once you get to a certain size, does it really make sense to do it yourself anymore? Or does it make sense to use a professional that can do it for you so that you can spend your time doing the things that make you money rather than banging your head against a wall for an issue that'll just come back anyway because you don't know how to fix it.
And the trades, it's time.
Yeah.
Time is money.
Exactly.
And I think there's so many individuals that don't have the time to do the right research to make sure they're protected, but also to scale to size.
Right. And I can get those kinds of things done at a much faster time frame.
Well,
than they
let
can.
everybody know how to get in touch with you.
Sure. So my website is forgeitconsulting.com. It's just all the words together. You can reach me at john@forgeitconsulting.com, and you can call at 407-318-2671.
And Chelsea, thank you so much. And a huge thank you to
Thank
our
you.
sponsors, and have a great week. Everyone, remember to support local.